My dog's looking at me in the most cutest way. He's a good boy, kiss kiss. He's a good boy, kiss kiss. He's a good boy. So all there is appearances happening. Hi, Carol. You banana, Lacey. You banana, Lacey. You're a banana. A banana. You're a banana. You're not a doggy, you're a banana. You're a banana. You're a banana. A banana. You're a banana. You're a big banana. You're not a doggy, you're a banana. A banana. A banana. Banana. You're not a doggy, you're a banana. A banana. You're a banana. A banana. A banana. A banana. Banana. She's a banana. A banana. You're a banana. No, Susan, I haven't done your question yet. I'll do that in a minute. At the moment, there's an introduction coming, even though I'm just sitting here like, banana. There is an introduction coming. It's like I can feel it. Not even I can feel it. It can be felt so strongly what wants to be said. And all words is so creative, just fail, just fall short. It's like I look at the dog and all I see, all there is energy moving, appearance is happening. The dog's free because there's not a mechanism in the dog claiming to be the dog. It's just appearances happening. Just pure sensation, pure sensing without it happening for anybody. But it's like I can feel it so it's not even me feeling it. It's so obvious, but to try and put it into words, the problem comes when the person and the life, or the person hold on to life. I say that like a billion times and it sounded like I was really having an epiphany, yeah. Can't even speak English. There's nothing that can be held on to. No iPad today. Hey Danny. So Danny says, hi Lisa, just saw you're coming into America, exciting. Maybe we can discuss your plans. Are you flying in and out of Utah? I'm in Atlanta. Maybe we can talk via Skype after talk. Just came back to my computer. Sorry if you answered already. Cassie! Cassie! You are Cassie? Make it louder. There you go. Is that loud enough? Tell me if you need me to make it louder. Sure, Danny, we can talk afterwards. I think I'm doing talks in Colorado as well, but that's only just being arranged. It was a last minute thing. So not this weekend, but the weekend after. But it's quite a bit of a tight schedule. I didn't leave myself much louder, some people want. Is that loud enough? I think it'll be blowing your brains now. It might be your computer. Hang on, let me check. Come on, Lisa, speak. I think it's you, Benny. Come on, Lisa, speak. Oh, there we go. So yeah, let's speak afterwards. Hi, Phyllis. Hi, Raman. Hi, Peter. Hi, Nick. Hi, Roland. Hi, Daniel. Nancy here. Just wondering if you saw the idea for a new skit I emailed you 2 days ago. No, I haven't read it yet. I think I might have put it into questions, Daniel. Hi, Lisa. I'm back. Have you read my email yet? I sent you one. This is from Susan. Beautiful description. I'd happy speak to you live when you've read it. Thanks. I love Colorado. You should check out the mountains for sure. Okay, this one's from Susan. Not sure if you will read this out, but please let me know when and if you respond to it. Thanks. I just listened back to our talk and you said it feels like someone is choosing, but it will always be exactly the same choice. What do you mean by it will always be exactly the same choice? I sort of get this, but it still feels like different choices with different outcomes to me. Maybe you could give an example. Could you also speak again about why choice is not important? I get the sense that the mind wants to hold on to the idea of why Lisa thinks choice is not important and then try to be that. I've got it. I'll start a mantra that goes, choice is not important, choice is not important, choice is not important. Haha, kidding. Never ends, a vicious circle. Love and hugs, Susan. Okay. So Susan, call when you're ready. Basically, I was saying that there'll be an appearance of choice, but there's never two options. It's always just going to be one way. There can't be two potential outcomes. There's just what happens, which is just one way. So there could be the appearance of, sure, we have apple juice or orange juice, but it's going to be the way it is. There isn't actually two choices there. So, by the way, guys, just to let you know, I prefer speaking to people, so I'd rather you called and spoke rather than wrote, but I understand if you want to write. Hey, Susan. Speaking to people, so I'd rather you called and spoke rather than wrote, but I understand if you want to write. Hey, Susan. Hello?
Hey, Susan. Hello?
Hello, Susan.
I'm not able to hear you.
You're not able to hear me? Hello? Hello?
I'm not sure why I can't hear you.
Have you got your head? Oh, hang on, I have to type to you.
I'm gonna hang up and try again.
Okay.
Hey, Letha.
Hey, yeah. You can hear me now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I cannot hear you. Okay, I got your message that you can hear me. The volume is up. My mic is not off.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
I don't know, it worked yesterday, or last time. Okay, sorry. Not sure what else to do. Try a Skype test, you said.
Yeah.
I will try that.
Okay.
Thanks, bye.
Evgeny, Lisa. Dear Lisa, do dogs sometimes function as facilities to awaken to the awakening of their so-called owner? The response that comes up when I read that is just it's way too dramatic. The dogs sometimes work as facilitators. Humans think it's all about them. This is just life happening. It's all energy expressing itself. Life doesn't give a fuck if someone wakes up or not. So then the idea that life doesn't care about anything, then the idea that the dog's placed there to wake up the human just seems so dramatic. Life is nothing, it's empty. It's not coming from a somebody with feelings and emotions and desires. It's coming from absolute emptiness. The feelings, the emotions and desire arise in it, are in the dreamland. Energy is completely impersonal. All those sort of stories and ideas are in the story and about you, and they've got nothing to do with what we're talking about. But it's so sticky because the focus goes so much into the person that it really feels real, all these emotions and feelings, sensations, and the idea that you're on a path to being woken up. It feels so real. It feels like that's the truth of things, but they're just appearances appearing in it. The freedom is right here. It's the appearances. It's what's appearing. It's not one appearance, though. It's not one thought. It's not one of those appearances. And the appearances are completely empty and coming from absolute emptiness or space now. But it's totally not about you waking up. You is just an appearance that comes and goes, like everything else. And why would emptiness care if there's suffering or not suffering? The suffering is only happening in it. It's not happening to somebody. Hi, Evgeny. Lisa, according to non-duality, potentialities don't exist. Well, everything's potential, but there's only ever one outcome. And when you talk about liberation, liberation from what? Liberation in my language is when that energy stops going into pretending, or that energy of being someone, that this is actually happening to someone and belonging to something. And this energy of holding on, that's holding on to appearances, saying this is me, this is what I am, this is who I am. And that happens or it doesn't. But ultimately it's none of it's really happening. All of it's just very limited in our words. It's when that energy stops going into I am a person in time. The person arises in you, in this emptiness. Joke. Make it louder, louder. It's good. Well, we like your voice. Need help? He said, according to non-duality, potentially does not exist. Good. Can't. This is Susan. Can't figure out. Can't do a Skype test. It's not that it's predetermined. There's nothing sitting in the future predetermined. It's all spontaneously happening right now. But there's only one outcome of everything. There's only one thing that could happen. There's not two that could potentially happen. It's only going one way. I think you can find it in your Skype menu. Hi, Evgeny. Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I'm this one. Evgeny.
Hi, Evgeny.
Yes. Just a minute. Hi. I just wanted to speak about. Yes, I can hear you. I just wanted to speak a little. I just wanted. Yes, do you hear me? I can hear myself. So I think you can hear me too. Okay, the question is.
Evgeny, you're trying to reply to my Ustream. You need to turn Ustream off, Evgeny.
Yes, do you hear me? I can hear myself. So I think you can hear me too. Okay, the question is.
Okay, Evgeny, when you've worked it out, you can call back. But I think it's my Skype where the volume's not working, so I'm just going to shut down Skype because I can see that he can't hear me as well. Hi, Marcus. So if you guys want to call, just call away. I think my Skype should be fixed now. I think it's definitely my Skype. Sorry, guess. Okay, Pablo. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah. I just... Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I will shut down the stream because...
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing if you keep that on.
Yeah.
You can just turn the volume off.
Yeah. I have a question. It's about kindness. I find kindness is kind of the seed of awakening. The kindness to let go of all the things that keep you how I say linked to someone, the obligation to be linked to someone, how I say, compromise. Yeah, my English. To get out of patterns of compromise, and I don't know, to be free from the stuff on your mind that says you what to do and with whom to speak and who to reject and when says if you say no, they will not like you or they will not ever call you again, you know. And this kindness to trust to trust life and let yourself clean from the stuff that you have inside and open your consciousness to the present moment, to life itself, and let yourself being washed.
You sure you mean the word kindness?
What?
Are you sure you mean the word kindness?
The word kindness?
Yeah. Like being nice to somebody.
No, I mean kindness, being kind to your own self.
Right. Yeah, I'm so sorry. This is, I'm not sure what your name is. Hang on, just let me see what your name is.
Pablo.
Pablo. I'm so sorry, Pablo. This message is so horrible, but it's just got nothing to do with you. That's all dreamland. That's dreaming. Sorry.
Right, that's cool. That's cool.
It's just got nothing to do with anything that you think it's about.
Yeah.
Thoughts are just thoughts. They come up and go, and you'll never ever see or understand the deconstruction of the self. It happens beyond you. You couldn't comprehend it. That might be a side effect, but how would you even know that? You can't know it. You can know only thoughts appear, and then thoughts are taken as truth, and then it becomes an identification again. There's no truth in any thought. Thoughts were only ever practicality that was about improving lifestyle. There's nobody inside the Pablo body. There's just a dream of someone. It's not a real reality. And the dream of kindness is just a dream. The dream of awakening is just a dream. Oh, that was taken well. A laugh.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Pablo.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So I see Susan tried to call. Hi, Susan.
Hello, Lisa.
I'm sorry, it was my Skype. There I'm going. I'm telling you to do a Skype test, and it was mine. That sometimes happens with Skype. You just have to. I've noticed when you have issues with Skype, you just turn it off and on again, and it works. But it was completely on my side, because then everybody else couldn't hear me.
No problem. Technology.
Yeah.
So, I listened to our last talk.
Yeah.
I listened to it back when we spoke last time. And I just wanted to say how desperate I sounded.
No, you can't know that. That in the next moment when you listen to it a different time and you've got different feelings going on, then you'll think, oh God, you sound really angry. You can never know that. You can't.
It's just always changing.
Yeah,
even everything that I say.
Yeah, it's just through your veils. Yep, and you could speak to somebody that's really happy, and when you're in a desperate mood, then you'll see that person as desperate.
Yeah.
You can't see these things. It all depends on the way in which, the view in which it's being viewed from, the colour in which it's being seen through.
Yeah, I get that, and then still these perspectives just pop out of my mouth, you know?
Yeah.
It just sounded like so constipated, like I was trying so hard to get something from you, and, you know, okay, I have to understand Lisa, and I was hearing that you were trying to point to something, and the mind just skips right over it, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't get it. And I don't know if I'll ever get this, but it's still fun to talk about.
Yeah, you won't ever get it. Who would even get it? There's just appearances coming up and disappearing, and that energy stops or doesn't stop, or stops and starts, or stops and starts. But there's not anybody in there. Susan is absolutely empty always. There is no person to heal. There is no body in there, inside the body.
Yeah.
There's just appearances, always appearing and disappearing. And there's no one appearance in which we are. It's just all happening. And what you are is nothing and everything. Is the movement of everything that's ever appeared and ever going to appear. The energy for the person, though, or the personal dynamic, is to always try and hold on to things, and that's where the problems start. The freedom is that it comes and goes, appears and disappears. The dog is always in. It's not the dog's always in the moment. There's just not somebody in the dog holding on to it, and then it's just energy expressing or beingness or whatever.
Intense holding on to things, and there's such a strong narrative of every single little feeling, experience.
Yeah.
It just wants to narrate everything and figure it out and understand it, and it's so annoying, and it's just such a big joke, whatever this life is, like, what it's about. Even
that person now, which is saying that, is that as well, is this energy that's gone forward into being something, and thinks that it can see something, and thinks it understands something.
Yeah.
It's so impossible, this subject. There's nowhere left. It's just all appearing and disappearing, appearing and disappearing. And we don't understand anything. But understanding appears, but then it's gone again.
Yeah. And there's always a comparing. There is a strong comparing to everything. And, you know, like, I'll compare my experience to what you describe. And
it's all made up. You and me. Both of them are in that moment made up, both people. The assumption that there's somebody inside Lisa's body and that there's somebody inside that body. There's going to be a big bark in a second. I can hear him getting ready. There you go. Have a date.
And even your response to my email that there's only ever one choice or one outcome. That really swirled my brain around, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just not going to get what she means by that.
Well, has anything that the Susan body's ever chosen, could it have ever been any different? In this moment, can you choose what to do next? So say the choice that I'm asking you to do is the choice is to either hang up the phone or stay on the line. Can you choose which one to do? There's a contemplation which gives the appearance that there's two choices, that there's an actual choice, but there is no choice. So there's a contemplation. Should I hang up the phone or should I keep speaking to her? And then it goes back and forwards. And then eventually the action happens to either stay on the line or hang up, whatever it is. But that contemplation has given the appearance that there's choice, but there's actually no choice. It's always going to be the one way. There's never choice. There's just action always happening. There's contemplation of choice, because there's ability to think. There's this, should I choose orange juice or apple juice or red wine or white wine or whatever it is. But there's no choosing actually happening. That's just the dilemma of the human. With the ability to imagine, it's imagined itself as separate choosing. There's just urges coming up from nowhere. There's nothing which is you, Susan. So those thoughts that are coming up about choice aren't you. They're just appearances that are no different than the appearances of the light outside, than the trees, or I'm looking at trees, or the wall. It's only language it's given and it's a chemical reaction, I'm sure, or a reaction in the brain that's happening that's giving the illusion that there's separation and somebody in there acting independently. There's no independence. Everything that's ever happening is coming from emptiness and disappearing back into emptiness. But it's so amazing emptiness or nothingness that it's given the appearance that there's somebody choosing to act, or that this is coming from somebody in time. How can this be coming from somebody in time? You're not choosing to hang up or stay on the line because of the past. It's because that energy is expressing itself this way now. So say if you looked at a kaleidoscope, it gives the appearance that the present picture is happening because of all the movement that's happened in the past. But it's not, it's just energy lined up, not energy, colours lined up in a certain way to give the appearance of a picture. Then the colours move again and it gives the appearance of another picture. But it's not all happening because of the previous picture. That's complete imagination. The previous picture was independent. The human, though, is constantly lost in cause and effect.
Yeah.
There's such freedom right here. This is appearing from nowhere. And there's no one thing that you know, Susan, about yourself. You don't know that you're angry or happy now, or that life is a certain way. You don't know that. That person that's pretending to know all these things about you is just another appearance appearing in boundlessness. That's not you, the one that thinks it's looking. That's just thoughts that have taken over. Or an energy that's taken over. I don't know what it is. It's taken a position somewhere.
There's such a big smile on my face right now because everything you're saying, I don't know why, it just makes me smile.
It's because this is freedom, but not freedom for the person. It's your nature, though. It's always been there. The fact that everything comes and goes has always been the case. It's always been this life with things appearing and disappearing. But then there was just too much energy went into one particular appearance or particular appearances, and then it became uncomfortable.
Yeah, how you mentioned how the brain is like obsessed with choice.
Yeah.
And it really makes me think about it like on a brain level, like whatever we feel we're experiencing is just
chemicals.
Chemical reactions.
Yeah, it really is. Because it's not even you feeling, it's emptiness, energy or emptiness or nothingness, and then in that it's created the brain, and then the brain's creating memories, creating sensations, creating certain experiences, and the brain is not separate from that which it perceives. Otherwise there would be nothing happening if it had nothing to perceive. Or it might all be happening in the brain, we don't know, but the brain comes from nothingness. But the brain is producing these memories, it's producing thoughts, and it's producing the appearance of cause and effect. And they come and go in this nothingness. The nothingness is the base. The no-thingness is the base. And then it's produced this brain, and this very complicated human brain, well, maybe it's not so complicated, but it seems to be, which has memory and thoughts and ideas, so it gives a certain colour to things, and it also gives the colour of I am experiencing this, and that's the lie. And it's just chemical reactions happening. It's so impersonal, like somebody wrote earlier and said, is my dog put here to wake me up? And it just seems like such a big drama, that idea. It's completely impersonal, it's just energy expressing. And it doesn't care, or nothingness expressing, and it doesn't care about what it's expressing because it's nothing. Care only appears in its expression. No, you sparked something there. Lisa got all excited, but it's so impersonal, there's no difference between you and me, it's just another chemical reaction happening.
Mm-hmm. I was on your Facebook and I was watching the Alan Watts video.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so beautiful.
He's great, Alan Watts. I don't know all his work. I've always drawn to. I think he also is a bit of a you've got to do this and practice, but I like all his other stuff where he's not talking about that. And that one, I can play it now actually, so everyone else could hear it. He just does some stunning talks about how everything is this flow of energy. This is a really beautiful one. Shall I play it now, Susan?
Sure, go ahead.
See, it seemed like we had an interaction of choice there, but there was absolutely no choice. The words came out, shall we play it? And you said, sure, go ahead. And nobody said either of those things. And nobody chose. There you go. It's funny.
In this universe, there is one great energy, and we have no name for it. People have tried various names for it, like God, like Brahman, like Tao. But in the West, the word God has got so many funny associations attached to it that most of us are bored with it. When people say God the Father Almighty, most people feel funny inside. But according to Buddhist philosophy, all this universe is one tatata. That means 10,000 functions or 10,000 things, one suchness. And we're all one suchness. Now that means that suchness comes and goes like everything else because this whole world is an on and off system. As the Chinese say, it's the yang and the yin. And therefore it consists of now you see it, now you don't, here you are, here you aren't, here you aren't. Because that's the very nature of energy, to be like waves, and waves have crests and troughs. Only being under a certain kind of sleepiness or illusion, imagine that the trough is going to overcome the wave or the crest. The yin, the dark principle, is going to overcome the yang or the light principle, and that off is finally going to triumph over on. And we, shall I say, bug ourselves by indulging in that illusion. Gee, supposing darkness did win out, wouldn't that be terrible? And so we're constantly trembling, thinking that it may, because after all, isn't it odd that anything exists? It's most peculiar. It requires effort, it requires energy, and it would be so much easier for there to have been nothing at all. Therefore we think, well, since the is side of things is so much effort, you always give up after a while and you sink back into death. But death is just the other face of energy, and it's the rest, the not being anything around, that produces something around, just in the same way that you can't have solid without space, or space without solid. When you wake up to this, and realize that the more it changes, the more it's the same thing, as the French say, that you are really a playing of this one energy, and there is nothing else but that it is you, but that for you to be always you would be an insufferable bore. And therefore it is arranged that you stop being you after a while, and then come back as someone else altogether. And so when you find that out, you become full of energy and delight. And you suddenly see through the whole sham of things. You realize you're that. We won't put a name on it. You're that. And you can't be anything else. So you are relieved of fundamental terror. That doesn't mean that you're always going to be a great hero, that you won't jump when you hear it bang, that you won't worry occasionally, that you won't lose your temper. It means, though, that fundamentally, deep down within you, you will be able to be human in the pains, difficulties, and struggles that naturally go with human existence. But to have no hang-up, that is to say, to be able to drift like a cloud and flow like water, seeing that all life is a magnificent illusion, a playing of energy, and there is absolutely nothing fundamentally to be afraid of. Fundamentally. You will be afraid on the surface. You will be afraid of putting your hand in the fire. You will be afraid of getting sick. But you will not be afraid of fear. Fear will pass over your mind like a black cloud will be reflected in the mirror.
That's so lovely.
Yes. And the brain wants to hold on and comes up with so many thoughts after hearing that.
Yeah.
And it's also so fascinated by life.
The brain.
Yeah, or the mind or the me or whatever it is. And I often hear you say how, you know, the Lisa body is not important to us.
Yeah.
And I guess that just makes me think of how my mind is so curious, not just about the Lisa body, but about all bodies, you know? And I guess that's just what it does, you know? It's just doing its thing of thinking.
Yeah. Can't you feel it? Can you, I don't even know what this means, but can't you feel all the different stories of all the different bodies? It's like there's a part, I don't know if it's a part of Lisa or a part of life that knows every story and every body so well. You know what I mean? There's like a fascination with the different bodies, but the fascination isn't about understanding or knowing them.
Mm-hmm.
There's something that knows them so well. Almost like you've played every role.
Yeah, that's really beautiful, I guess. And that's where the comparison comes in, is I feel it through my mind and my thoughts, but when you speak, it sounds like you're feeling it through something different.
It's the same way you're feeling it. It's just that energy's sometimes getting stuck in certain places where it's saying this is the way it is. But actually there's a part of you that knows every story and every being and everything. It knows it so well that it's been all of it and is all of it. And then there's this interest also, which isn't interested from a personal way. It's interested and fascinated beyond the person. But then more than likely energy's coming in Susan and claiming that interest in a thought way. But it's not wrong in any way. It's just believing the interest is in stories. But actually there's a natural interest there.
Yeah.
But it's hard to talk about these things. It's more of a sense of it, but it's so hard. It's like it must be like what it's like for an artist when he's trying to paint an abstract piece of art. That's what it feels like trying to talk about this. Like I feel, but saying I feel is completely wrong. And I'm sure everybody feels this. There's not even everybody, because it's just the natural way of being stuff. I know every story that's ever played out and that ever will play out. It's like beyond compassion. It's like you can understand every story, but not in an intellectual way. It's like a feeling way, but not as like a feeling that's coming and going. Like you can feel so well why the murderer murders, why the sun shines, why the dog bites or the dog runs around in joy, why the flower is dying, why the bug bites or goes to get the pollen. You can feel it, but not in a feeling way. Do you know what I mean?
No, probably not.
Well, actually, it's not quite. Do you know what I mean? That's just the way we talk. It's like, can you sense that? It's not even senses.
Yeah.
It's like when you're listening to Alan Watts, or maybe it's when you're listening to Lisa as well, or me. It's like a knowing of what's being talked about, but without being able to intellectually understand it.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the bee, you know the bee so well as to why he buzzes and gets the pollen and does his little dance.
It feels like that was a good description to what we can't describe.
Yeah, and it's absolute compassion, this part of it, like knowing every story. Like knowing it beyond your sense of knowing it. Because you can't hate anyone because you know exactly why they do it. but it's not an intellectual thing. You couldn't rationally describe it.
Yeah.
Like when somebody takes your food at work or shouts at you or beeps their horn, you know why they're doing it, but beyond the rational sense, it doesn't mean that Susan doesn't have a reaction and go, shut up, or you ate my food, or doesn't have a bad negative reaction. That might happen, but there's a knowing beyond that of why it's all happening that's not intellectual or understandable.
Yeah, and if there's a negative reaction, then that's okay. But
yeah, that's part of what the characters do.
Yeah.
You've heard my dogs. They're always having a little, well, not always, but a lot of the time fighting. Not fighting like biting each other, but they're like, if Khaleesi goes to steal his bone, he's the boy, and then he tells her off, and then he tries to steal her bone later, and they're always sort of doing that kind of back and forth game. They're like, my bone. Or pushing each other out of the way for cuddles. It really doesn't matter if the character is a more negative, grumpy character. That doesn't matter at all. That can be the way of it.
There's so many different facets, so many different sides.
Yeah. And you, not as the character, can be anything. You could be the murderer, the paedophile, not as the character, as you can be the saint, you can be the supermodel, you can be the chef, you can be the bee, you can be the pond, you can be the water, you can be the rain, you can be the wind. But not you as the character. Anything that you imagine of what I'm saying, any asset which you imagine to be all the rain and the whatever I just described, isn't it? Not you as something, you as no thing. Can be anything. And that's your nature, the no thingness.
Feels like a black hole. Whatever that means. Oh, Lisa, it's just lovely to speak with you.
Yeah, it's really lovely to speak with you, Susan, as well. That was nice listening to Alan. I might put some more Alan on. I've got another one that I really like of his as well. Somebody edits them with really nice music as well, so it recreates the atmosphere.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I better go now.
Thanks, Susan.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Sometimes I love speaking live with people, so if you feel like it, guys, please call in. I think there's somebody here that wants to call in. Dear embodiment of nectar. Is that Lisa? No, he's just about to say Khaleesi. Your words seem to bring the evaporation of my person very close. I seem to need the final blast to this ego. No, that's dreaming, Daniel. That's dreaming, Daniel. That's dreaming to the divine. It all home once and for all. Please say something that can cut through all my lingering crap. That's all dreaming again. Ricardo!
Hey!
My dog's got excited by that.
Wait a second, I don't hear you so clearly. It's a little, second.
Cassidy!
Oh, yeah, I hear your dog.
Man, he always farts when he barks. It's terrible. It's like, here's the gift. Cassidy takes such power to get that bark out. He's like, Cassidy!
Wait a second, I need to get myself together.
You didn't expect that. You were just going to ask a question about Alan Watts, and then Cassidy goes. Everywhere.
That's like hit by a truck, those things. And the funny thing was, in the first moment, I thought it was really real, and I thought, oh goodness, she's quick. Oh my god. Actually, I called him because there is really something I want to know. And,
yeah.
I was reading some of this non-dual stuff from Joey Lott, I guess. And there were two phrases, and the one made sense, and the other wasn't clear yet, and maybe you can clear that up a little.
Yeah.
It was, the first sentence was like, there's no such thing as a me, and this is clear, Italy.
Yeah.
But what's not so clear, he said, there's not even thoughts. And but the funny thing is, when I really, when thinking about that comes, then it feels true, but it doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I would never say that, but I always can feel it.
Yeah, that's the point. I feel it too, but I don't have any idea what that means.
No. And there's no right way to speak about it. Like, that's his way of speaking about it.
Yeah, no, it was just because there was some sensing of it. And
it feels really nice, but I couldn't explain it to you. I have no idea what he means. But it feels really nice when you say it.
It's just when you think that there are no thoughts either. Yeah. It's like there's like a big gap suddenly. I don't know.
Yeah.
I cannot tell.
I mean, like, at least with the chair, you can feel the chair. Thoughts are very ethereal. It's like a dream at night, thoughts. But, I mean, what does he even mean by that? Because you could destroy everything.
Yeah,
you could say there's actually nothing happening. But it feels nice.
I really enjoy the current time. I mean, it's like you have a facade of a house, but if you look behind the wall, you see that there's nothing. So there's a kind of subtle feeling of being inside a body, but at the same time, it's not, and it's so weird. Well, are you already in the US?
No, I leave on Tuesday.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You know what, I guess that's it already.
That was it, Ricarda.
That's it, well, so far so good, so yeah.
Nice to speak with you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi Lisa, contraction is not happening to me. It's just happening. It's just happening. There's nobody there. It cuts in and out every few seconds, then okay for a few minutes. Then blue circles appear again. And stops and starts. Cannot say it's unpleasant. Maybe it's my connection. I think it is your connection today, Phyllis. Sometimes if lots of people are using the internet in your area, it affects it. Hey, Julian. He says, hey, sexy. Hey, Perch. Hi, Karen. Oh, I have a picture waiting. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
I just got a call from you.
Yeah, I've seen about your live stream, but I cannot come in from the Unistream. That's why or live stream. I don't know how it's called, but
You want to listen on Skype?
Decided to call you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You wanted to ask a question or you wanted to listen?
I don't know. I don't have questions, and my English also is not so well. I understand much.
Okay. Well, you can just listen if you like on Skype.
Cause a problem that I would like to.
Hello?
Hello.
Hiya. You just cut out for a minute, but yes, go ahead.
If you don't cause any problem, I will be glad to just hear from Skype.
Okay, yeah, no, that's not a problem at all. You can just listen. If you could just mute your microphone, do you know how to do that? Just underneath my picture.
I'm in headphones.
Okay. Okay. No worries.
Now it's better.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
So, Vinny, this is from Vinny V. Lisa, where do you get all this stuff from that you voice here? Where do all these words come from? Hey, Caroline. What's its source? Does it spring from a resonance with everything and nothing? When you're on a roll, it sounds like a lot of esoteric mumbo jumbo, like you're speaking in tongues. Sometimes I feel I get more what you're saying when you go off for a piss and I'm left staring at the black chair. Love, Vinny. Well, where Vinny, do you speak from? Where does Vinny speak from? Vinny tells the story that he speaks from the past, or his knowledge, or his understanding. But where does that thought come from? But now I'm going to go to a piss. So this is your most profound moment, Vinny. The piss break. We're back. Okay, so I see some people have called. So D called.
Hey.
Hello, Carola, Eddie.
I have a. It's not a question. Yeah, I will ask you. There is no control at all in anything.
No.
Not even when you're trying to control something or you work.
No, there's an appearance of somebody trying to control something, but that's not who you are. That's just an appearance. So the thought comes up, I'm going to make this person like me, or I'm going to tell this person how great I am, and then the words come out for you to express that. But that's not who you are.
No one speaks then.
No one speaks. It's just thoughts and energies and appearances coming up.
So all that is left is just
what is
just live, just to live our lives as they are lived.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but not you living it. Just life is lived as it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Just life. All that is left is just life.
Yeah.
Then the talk is over. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. What's your name? I can't read it. It's in Greek.
So easy. I don't know. So obvious.
Yeah.
And really strange.
Yeah, it is really strange. Well, I'll just put you on silence again. If you've got anything else you want to say, just send me a message.
Yeah, of course. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'll keep silence.
No. You can just send me a message if you want to say something again.
Yeah. Okay.
This is from Pashet. Lisa, you said that every situation in life is like a picture in a kaleidoscope, unrelated to previous actions, but don't our actions lay the foundation for the next picture? E.g., now you are enlightening people, so you are raising your bad karma and laying the foundation for your future. That might be how it seems to go, that one thing leads to another. But really it's all just spontaneously being created in this moment. So it's not coming from the past, it's all spontaneously happening now. But it seems to be that everything's one thing leading to another. Things are always moving from one thing to another. But I'm not the one choosing to talk about this, and I'm not erasing my bad karma. There's no such thing as bad karma. But speaking about this is happening. But it's not me that's choosing it. Lisa's just the product of everything that's ever come before and everything that's going to happen, which is nothing. This is from Caroline. Hi, have a lovely time in the years. Love the little girl crying her head off who does not want her cute brother to grow. Oh yeah. It's the best video I have ever seen, and its innocence fills characters with joy, peace and laughter. Can I send it to friends? Love you. Yeah, you can. You just need to copy the link. Hi, Madja.
Hello.
Hey, Jim.
Hi, Lisa. I just turned the sound down on Ustream.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Madja.
Hello.
Hey, Jim.
Just turn the sound down.
Is that you, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello?
Well, time is warping out.
Yeah, I think you just need to turn the volume off of Ustream.
Yeah. There.
There you go.
Oh yeah, so I can still hear you.
Yeah.
Hi, yeah.
The video though will be out of sync, so you can't rely on my facial reactions.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my life sort of went, well, this life started changing like crazy there, so I haven't been kind of in touch for a while. There's definitely some kind of space, emptiness opened up, and most questions are answered by themselves in that. But I still have one sticking point that I'd like to just kind of run by you.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, so it's the emptiness, the nothing, everything else that I kind of get from you and from Muji and everything all ties in with Adida, who I was following for quite a while. Well, I still am, and it all correlates except for the idea that there's absolutely nothing. He says there's nothing, but that nothing is filled with personhood. And he describes it like if you have 2 birds flying in the sky, there's a person. If 10 birds join them and there's a flock, that's a person. If 50 join, that's a person. And everything that is everywhere all at once is nothing and a person in that paradoxical way.
This is Adida that says this?
Yeah. And it's funny you were playing Alan Watts, because that's just when I joined, Alan Watts was on, and he had a review of one of Adida's books where he says, this man knows what's going on. So just trying to correlate all of this stuff, not in my head, but
yeah, I don't know what he means by that. Everyone's got their own language of talking about it, and I'm sure if you studied Adida, you'd begin to understand his language. But anything I say about it would just bastardize it, I'm sure.
Well, like I was saying, all the questions that pop up in here seem to get answered in this space that's been opening up and opened up a lot recently. So all these different teachers are kind of, the languages are merging in, and things are being answered. It's just that one little point about personhood and emptiness. Like it's kind of like the question of the divine. Is there nothing or the divine, or is there nothing divine, or is the divine nothing? Maybe it's a question along those lines.
Oh, is the divine nothing?
Mm.
Everything's nothing. Why would just the divine be nothing? Everything's the divine, and the divine is nothing.
Ah. Yeah, so there's no conflict there. Would you say there was a conflict that there is a divine one, a divine person?
No. But all people are divine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's all of the same oneness.
But the thing is Jim, is everything that Adida said, everything that Muji said, is a load of crap. And everything that I say is a load of crap. So it really doesn't matter. Everything Adam Watts says is a load of crap.
It's just at times it seems to have an effect or something, or...
So you think.
You know, like,
well, that's just a thought that comes and goes.
Or the thought that something happens?
That it has an effect. It's just thoughts. It's an idea. It's just a thought that comes and goes. There's even a thought that comes and goes that says that lately things have been answered in space or in your space, or I can't remember, like everything's getting answered in that space. You're aware that that's a thought that comes and goes and has no reality.
Yeah.
That's not the way things are. That's a thought. The way things are is what is. And then it's just thought energy. And then sometimes a person arises getting stuck in thought, believing that thought has truth. All thoughts come and go and have no truth in them. What the speaker's meant to be doing is machine gunning all the ideas that the person believes. So now it just sounds like you're beginning to go into new thoughts and belief systems about the person or what is, but they're just thoughts, not the person or divine and nothing. It's easy to then get stuck in the non-dual thoughts.
Yeah.
This is it. What is? It's not about what you think. Even the idea that the non-duality alleviates or reveals something or has an effect. Just a thought, comes and goes. There's nothing in which you are, and yet there's everything. But you could even get stuck in that thought.
Would you think there's a feeling level that is like more real than the thought level?
Nope. Feelings come and go as well. But you don't start telling everyone that the feeling is the way it is. Well, people do actually. They get stuck in the feeling of love. What freedom is non-stuckness. The idea that something's more divine is stuckness. And what non-duality is pointing back to is the fact that everything's appearing and disappearing freely. The person, though, keeps getting stuck in things that it believes are true, or who it is. Whether it be love, whether it be enlightenment, whether it be what the guru says. The guru is most probably one of the misleading things there is out there. The idea of the guru. You know that that's just an idea, right? That you have a guru. It's an idea appearing now. Even the idea of you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's an understanding that there's only one. I mean, that's been there all through my time with the guru. I mean, it was him that kind of made that real for me as well.
But that's just a thought that's appearing now.
That's the thought that's appearing now.
Yeah. There's no freedom in any of it. This is it. This is the freedom.
So, like...
There's nothing that you have, Jim. You have nothing.
So a complete empty slate. Divine ignorance.
It's always empty slate. It's always empty slate. It's only the person that's dreaming that it's not.
Yeah, and it's the person that's the problem.
Well, I mean, that's just a thought as well. It's endless, these thoughts.
Yeah, because this is the main Adida sort of teaching as well, is that you are the problem. There is only consciousness as conscious as consciousness itself.
There's not even consciousness. Consciousness is an appearance that comes and goes. Consciousness isn't nothing, is it? Some people are quite clever in the way they speak, and they dismiss consciousness into nothing, which is very nicely done, and it's a convenient way to talk about this. But consciousness is something that comes and goes. Your picture is so cute, Jim.
Which picture?
On Skype. It's like I just so everyone that's watching, which is no one, can see the picture. It goes. It's like this. Let's see if I can get it right.
I'll have to watch back to see it do my face.
It's really sweet. But when I talk with someone, I get locked into their picture, even though it's a still picture. I get locked into the eyes of somebody I'm speaking to. It's funny.
Yeah. What is it about the eyes? That's. I think I see you doing it now. Yeah, what is it with the eyes? That for me too seems to be the person, even though there isn't a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what seems to make the most sense then is you had a post up today saying to the bad news is you're free falling. The good news is there's no ground.
Yeah.
That seems to be where I am. Well, I have to say I.
Yeah.
That seems to be where I am right now. I feel that.
Yeah, Mooji's got a famous thing of nothing, 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 nothing. There's nowhere to be.
Uh-huh. Do you think there's something that backs away from that, or something? Because it's
the personal
so
energy is
early.
always trying to be something, but it's always trying to hold on to things. It feels like freedom is in things, but freedom is in no thing. But the person tries to find it in things. It's not that it's backing away from it. It's just looking. It's just mistakenly looking in things which are always moving, so it can't ever hold on to these things. Looks in understanding, in ideas, in the intellect, in houses, in money, in people, kids.
There's a thought that I'm kind of getting it and then losing it, getting it and losing it.
But notice that can only appear in thoughts.
Uh-huh.
That's appearing in something. That got it, lost it, got it, lost it.
Yeah.
And that's not who you are, that's the mistake. That's an appearance coming and going. And the problem is when the energy goes into those appearances and say, this is what I am. You aren't any appearance, yet you are everything.
It's like I can only think in pictures because I keep getting the feeling of being a bubble that contains everything and then pops out and is everything outside the bubble.
I like to think of it as a kaleidoscope, like a kaleidoscope.
Yeah, that's a good one. And like the person was saying earlier, isn't it like one, when you turn it, one object is knocking off another and causing the next movement.
Yeah.
But this is more like uncaused, just...
Well, so's the kaleidoscope ultimately. Because where do you ever find the beginning cause of the kaleidoscope? Which picture do you ever find the beginning of the current picture? It's endless, nothing.
Yeah.
The human looks in very limited cause and effects and looks at its lifetime and its limited stories it tells itself and says, this is why this happened. But it's forgotten about the whole billion years before that. This has happened because everything that's come before, which is nothing. It sounds like mad people if they just tuned in. Somebody that hadn't ever heard of this before. You what?
Yes.
This is about everything that's come before, which is nothing. Well, then that's nothing that's come before. What a load of bonkers people.
There's even more bonkers that there's no people. There's some sort of monologue going on here with seeming puppets.
Yeah. That's great.
So your voice is coming out of speakers at the moment, but it may as well be in, well, not my head either. And vice versa.
Yeah. And where is it that we hear something?
In the isness. Yeah, so we're not containers.
No. That's from that Jim Carrey speech. Did you see the Jim Carrey speech?
In the kind of university or something where he had his painting.
Where he was saying we're not containers.
Yeah.
No, you're not the container. No, what was he? Hang on, I'm so bad at quoting things. It was really sweet. I've forgotten it.
Yeah.
It was a sweet quote.
Speech,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed a very inclusive speech.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Rakada.
Well, surprise, it's me again. I need to share something with you. This is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
there's, you know, when I asked you the question of, or when I said I want to have something clear, like there is no such thing as thoughts, even.
Yeah.
And it felt so good, and it was like I said something like it's like a gap or something.
Like a what?
And then like a gap.
Oh yeah, gap.
And then suddenly it became clear that, I mean, I talked to Franziska just some minutes ago, and we talked about it together, and she said there is this, how to say that, a comparison with a basket. If you have a basket and you put all thoughts into the basket and you look inside, then it's empty. So cool. And then a thought came, of course, I mean, every thought itself is a story.
Yeah.
Just popping up. So of course there are no thoughts too. It's so weird. I'm sorry. Oh, it feels like I want to scream. Okay.
Oh, well, thanks for popping in and saying that, Ricarda.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. Did you want to say something, Julian?
I was, and then you guys kind of answered all my questions. I was just going to ask, does the Lisa character ever get, you know, just obviously maybe anxiety or fear or whatever emotion?
Yeah, emotions, all sorts of emotions.
Yeah, but does the Lisa character ever get stuck in one of them?
Well, I mean, it's quite repetitive, the fear on an aeroplane when you've been bumping for hours and hours. But I don't think I would see myself as stuck in it.
For example, like if I hate airplanes, and if I were...
I quite like them actually, but it does produce quite a lot of fear. Especially when it's bumping and bumping and bumping and bumping.
Oh, like the turbulence?
Yeah.
So, okay, so there's like, that comes up, but there's no longer like the person who's trying to make it go away.
I don't know how I'd be able to tell that. But it just is as it is. I don't really look at myself. There's not really looking at myself. It's just experiencing happening. Before, there used to be an examination of Lisa and what she is and what she's not.
Okay.
Whereas now, it's just a happening. It's like a kid. But it's really not enlightened, what you'd consider enlightened behaviours or anything. I'm greedy. I get scared of things. I can stick my finger up at the driver on the road. Often I'm sticking my finger up and go past.
It's like it happens and then it's gone.
Yeah.
It's not like.
Yeah.
It's not like.
There's not. It doesn't. But I don't want to. I don't want to get into a trap of complaining that I am something. But I would suggest, without really, it's just in free fall. It's just a happening. It's not the freedom of non-duality is the end of that that's like sticker thing that's like holding on. It's just a happening, but it's nothing to do with me or Lisa. And really, I don't know that. And that's really, in a way, a funny thing to say. It's happening, but because really, who am I looking at?
Right. I was just asking because it's for this body mind, for the Julian character, there's a lot of anxiety that comes up, and
around particular things. What do you consider anxiety? Like repeating stories of worry?
Just the sensation that comes up, and then that energy that tries to make it go away.
Like anxiety about what's going to happen later, or
Yeah, like if I don't do something correct,
Yeah.
I get anxious. Like there's a sensation that comes up because I didn't do something the way that I was supposed to.
Yeah.
And then there's that energy that tries to make that initial energy go away.
Yeah.
And so.
But I wouldn't. The thing is this stuff gets into really like dodgy territory in the sense of the one that thinks it knows this is not trustworthy.
What do you mean?
The one that thinks it knows it gets anxiety isn't trustworthy.
Oh, well, I don't even want to call it anxiety. Like, I don't really care
But
what
even
I
that
call
person that thinks it can see it
right.
isn't trustworthy.
You mean that energy that's labeling it?
Yeah, even the one that thinks it's aware that it experiences anxiety regularly isn't trustworthy.
Right.
There's nothing which you see, this is where the mind will obsess about this stuff, and it will say, okay, so I still get these anxieties, and it will obsess that that's a non-liberated thing. And then it will go round in circles trying to get rid of it and not want to experience it, not want to admit it, label it as unliberated. And you can't tell what you are, Julian. Even when I said it's dodgy, me saying there's no longer stickers, I really meant that. Like, that's even me encouraging that kind of talk, that you know what you are. That person that thinks it knows who it is still part of that personal energy. You can't know yourself.
You mean intellectually?
You can't know yourself at all. There's just what's happening. Always. But it will feel really uncomfortable to hear this because there'll be an energy that wants to hold on to Julian gets anxiety.
Well, that's the thing, is that's what's exhausting, is the energy that's trying to hold on to.
But you watch, when you begin to feel happy later, this will seem like, you watch this and this will seem like a bit of nonsense, a load of nonsense. When you're in a really ecstatic, joyful mood, this story of Julian with anxiety will seem really weird and not fit. This is just isn't trustworthy stuff. We're talking about an illusion, and you can't know yourself. It doesn't feel nice to hear this because you want to know that you get anxiety and that you want to know something about yourself.
Well, that's not what I was asking. What I was asking originally was, like, for that example of anything that comes up and getting stuck in that.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking.
But this is part of getting stuck in it, believe it or not, is the idea and that energy. Feel how true it feels at this moment that you experienced anxiety in the past. That's part of the sticking energy.
Right.
That you think you even know that about yourself.
I don't know what?
You don't know anything about yourself.
Right.
But that doesn't feel comfortable because if you know Julian has problems, then you know something about yourself and it's a bit more easier to comprehend in thought energy. But nothing in that world is real. It'd be such a nice experiment if it happens. If Julian goes back and listens to this when he's feeling really high or really in love or really good.
And it sounds like a bunch of nonsense.
You won't be able to recognise yourself.
Right.
And you'll be so convinced now, though, that this is something that you can recognise about yourself.
Okay, I think I see what you're saying now. Okay. It's like, I want to say that that's who I am, but how could that be who I am if I look back at this video and I'm experiencing something else?
Yeah, you can't find yourself. But even in these stories, people will feel unsatisfied because they want to know how to fix these things. But the assumption first that you know yourself.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. Huh.
But it's so hard because you describe the body and you just can't. You can describe it limitedly, but the problem is the energy just pushes into it so quickly. That's who I am. You can describe it in a limited, Lisa enjoys chocolate cake or something, but the energy will so quickly push into that is who you are, and you know something about yourself.
You mean in that moment when you're exaggerating that that's who you are?
Yeah. It's just that the no-thingness, which is always here, it's like it gets sucked into something. Suddenly, it's sucked into an appearance.
Okay.
It's so hard to talk about.
Yeah, that's what this character does a lot of. It's like, that's the suffering, and that's the sticky part, where it's like it happens, and then there's like an investigation into that, and then you're stuck in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So for the Lisa character, it's just like what's just happening.
Yeah, it's just what's happening, and and even me saying that overall Lisa doesn't get stuck in things anymore is just feeding the bullshit for everybody that's listening. It really is. Talking about Lisa just is no help to anybody. Not that anything that I say is any help, but talking about Lisa just feeds the dream. I just can point back to non-duality of what it's not.
What it's not.
And what it's not. It's not this, it's not that, it's not this.
And you can't say what it is.
No. Because it is. But it's impossible to say what that is.
But
the person's getting sucked into to ideas, into belief systems, into things it enjoys. It gets sucked in, or it sucks it in, and then it gets stuck on these things.
And that's what that's what happens with what you would even call the good, quote unquote, the good or the bad.
Yeah, the good things it gets stuck on, and the bad things.
It's painful as the bad, because people want the good all the time, even when it's not there.
And don't want the bad, but on each side they're holding on to things. Yeah, they're holding on to don't want this, I do want that. And then life's not free to be as it is. But it's so obvious this would happen in a human. You might have heard me talk about this. It was such a great story that my friend Paul told me about his kids. And my friend Paul told me this. He had 2 kids, and with both kids, this is amazing what happened. At first, they'd have a toy and they'd throw it over their head, and when the toy was gone, and that was it. The kid then just picked up the next thing. But after a while, the kid would throw the toy over its head, then turn round and look at the toy. And it would do this for a period of time. Throw the toy over the head, turn round and look at the toy. Then it moved into the next stage, and this is the bit where the human gets stuck. It would throw the toy over its head, and then it would cry because it could imagine the toy still existed. Because it had experimented and looked round and could see the toy was still there. So then after a while, it could just throw the toy disappeared, it could imagine the toy still exists and I don't have my toy, and then it would cry.
And that's the story that they're stuck in.
Yeah, and this is what happens with the human. That energy gets more and more and more, but it came with the ability to imagine. Imagine I am this, first of all, I'm this body, then this toy that I've lost, and it's always in that dynamic of what it imagines it's gotten lost. But that activity in the brain can get switched off, it seems, and then complicated thinking can happen, but that one that's holding on to it can, it seems, get turned off, or can go on and off for a while, it seems, as well. It's just an activity of the brain that's got to, and then the whole of society have supported it. And they go, oh, poor baby.
That's insanity, too. I mean, it's like...
You should have your toy. Oh, you must never lose your toy. You've got to hold on to your toy.
Oh, my God, that's crazy. That's complete insanity to... It's like something... Like, say someone gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
And then they're stuck in the story of
being hit by the car.
But it's already over.
Yeah. And the thing is about life is it's endless, and I sound so uncompassionate sometimes when I'm laughing at all these stories, but everything's gonna get experienced. So it's like there's gonna be the Because you are nothing, which is producing everything. So you're going to be the person that runs someone over, the one that's run over, the one that isn't run over. You're going to be all of it. You've got to be creative with this, where I'm going here. But you're going to be every story because you are the nothingness. You're not the limited Julian. So therefore, it's like, if you were just Julian and you stayed awake for 1,000 years, and you as Julian experienced all these stories, eventually you'd be unfazed by them. You'd be like, now we're being run over by the truck. Now we're in the hospital with the pain, and it'd be like the pain. But but you are that nothingness, which is everything and endless. But the character believes it's a very limited person.
And it can be so subtle too.
Yeah.
Like the other day, my dad was shouting at me, and it's like as soon as I respond to, like, I don't know, try and defend the character, I'm getting stuck in something that already happened.
Yeah.
Like even the shouting or whatever, anything, any time I get stuck in that, it's like it's already over, but I'm like stuck in it.
Yeah. And you also are the person shouting as well.
Yeah,
it's all.
That's like the paradox too. Yeah. It's like, okay, that's also what's happening. So it's supposed to be happening because that's what's happening.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And then for some reason, then life plays the dance that in some body mind mechanisms they wake up to this illusion.
Okay.
That you are this limited body mind mechanism, but everybody gets to play the role also of the body mind mechanism that wakes up, because everybody is that no-thingness. Everybody plays every role. And you can't imagine it in a time-bound reality. Time is not the way this is working. Linear time. It's not. That's just a human's thought energy. This is more, you can feel this, but not feeling that comes and goes. You know this. You know everything that's ever happened and going to happen. But not as a psychic way or a limited human way.
Wait, what did you just say?
I don't know. It just comes out.
Something, it does. Oh, you know that everything happens, but not like intellectually.
Not
that's
psychic.
What you were saying earlier. Like when you know the bee is, like you know why the bee is doing what it's doing, but not like intellectually.
And it's the same with the dad yelling. You know it so well. You know that yelling so well. It's almost as it is you. It is you, really.
And for some reason you wanna.
It's only the Julian that then goes F off. But then if there's an attachment to Julian, then it gets stuck in that F off for the next 10 hours.
You're right. You do know it. It's like if I react. I mean, there's nothing wrong with reacting either.
No.
But there's. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, because I didn't respond. I just left the room, and I was like, okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure had I responded, it would have just kept going back and forth.
Yeah.
Like nothing would have happened.
No. More than likely.
Nothing was wrong with it.
No.
Wow. Yeah, because when I was talking about the anxiety, that's what this body mind's done for a long time.
Yeah.
Which is just getting stuck in the story. I don't know why, it just did it.
Just most body minds do, just because that's the flow of what happens with the human. They're getting stuck in stories, but most body mind mechanisms, which in a way is kinder, they're not aware of it. There's not an awareness of it.
They're not aware that they're stuck in the story.
No. But poor Julian at the moment is aware he's stuck in the freaking story.
That's probably worse to know that you're stuck and not be able to.
It is in a way. They do say that sometimes, that awakening is like the worst bit. Because you can comprehend what's happening, but you can also comprehend that there's no fucking way you can move it in any way. It's got to play out until it finishes playing out.
Yeah, and I see that at work, when I go to work, and there's a lot of anxiety, or at least the reaction to this body mind. There's a lot of that reaction. And there's like that need to respond, and then there's me being conscious that I'm doing it, but I can't stop it.
No, it just has to play out. And this is infinity, so I mean, what's a bit of anxiety? It seems very important in the moment, but it's a drop of anxiety in a huge ocean, or an endless ocean.
Which is nothing.
No.
Yeah.
It feels important in the limited view, in the limited time-bound view of 60 or 80 years lifespan.
Wow.
But it's really not. It's just experiencing happening, and why not? If there's endless nothingness, so why not express these things? And then one day I'll express the joy of losing the anxiety.
The joy of using anxiety.
Losing.
Oh, losing.
Why not create all that?
You're coming to the U.S.?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Where in the U.S.?
Well, I'm going to Utah to do talks for like a week. But before that, now I think I'm going to Boulder in Colorado.
Oh, Boulder! That's where everyone goes.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
I think it's Boulder, Colorado. Is that near Utah? Like an 8-hour drive?
Yeah, they're not far from each other.
Yeah. Then it is Boulder. So we're just going to drive there the next weekend, I think, and do a talk there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think Jeff Foster was just over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They have everyone going through.
You guys are all over the place. Yeah, no, you should have fun in Boulder. I heard it's really nice. There are like a lot of mountains. It's very naturey.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm only there for, I think, 2 days. I'm spending most of my time in Salt Lake City and a little... or near Salt Lake City.
Oh, you're going to see the canyons.
Yeah. And I think that's we're going to take a trip as we're driving down to Boulder. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the canyons are really pretty. It's beautiful.
And then we'll get there and we'll be like, it's the same. It's really beautiful, but then also it's the same.
How that works? Yeah, it's like the first 5 minutes you're like, oh, and then you're like, okay, I'm used to this.
It's so funny, life.
I do that when I go to France because I go every other year.
Yeah.
It's like it's fresh every time, and then I'm like, okay, I'm over this.
Yeah. Although the croissants you can never get over.
This is true. The croissants are very good.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. Oh, thanks for talking, Julian.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks a lot.
And thanks, Jim. I'll hang up on you both now.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Laurie.
Hi, Lisa. Okay, I've gotten a lot out of what was previously said.
Yeah.
And it triggered a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
And one is, okay, you're saying I can't get this with my mind, and this is, and everything that you say, and Jeff Foster says, and Ellen Watts says, and all the people that are, Byron Katie, it's all bullshit. So,
yeah.
What is it
that
makes me need or have this desire to listen?
Well, it's just the flow of things. It's nothing to do with you, it's just the flow of things. Just like the plant grows, the lorry listens. What is it that makes the plant grow? You could say the sun or the earth, but you'll never find the beginning of why it grows. It grows. And Laurie listens.
And Laurie gets so much shit from everybody. Why aren't you okay with yourself? Why are you always seeking? What is wrong? Why can't you just be? Oh.
But that's all Laurie as well. You can't find victim anywhere, Laurie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All those people out there are Laurie as well. Well, it's not quite. Yeah. It's all It's all in the Laurie dream. I mean, there's a dream of Laurie, and then there's a dream of other rats. Otherwise, they're just like birds tweeping. You don't think twice about the birds tweeping. Otherwise, it's just gone. It's Laurie that then repeats them.
So that's what I should look at them all as birds.
Yeah, that's what all humans are. I always look at humans like birds, particularly birds. The English are like turkeys, different types of turkeys, or those sort of poultry birds, chickens, moorhens. Have you seen moorhens? No, not moorhens, coots. That's what the English like.
What? Oh, I can't wait to watch this back to see you.
And then the Americans. The Americans are like this bird. I can't think of its name. It's like a really colourful bird. I can't think of its name though.
So what makes each country a different bird?
Well, it tends to be the sound of their accent, really. I mean, the English do sound like turkeys. They're like... The South Africans, they're like a bird that's a tweepy bird. It tends to be the sound of their... And it's really good when you don't understand the language, because then they're even more like an animal or a bird.
I am going to look at my husband as a turkey tonight when he's telling
No, but Americans,
oh gosh,
you guys have to be these birds that fly really quickly, a bit like hummingbirds or something.
That's funny.
Or you know those birds that collect pollens really quickly? Because to the English accents, the Americans are kind of speaking quite quickly.
Okay, so it's like a hummingbird. Okay, so I'm going to picture him as a hummingbird tonight.
But I also imagine people as animals as well.
And that's just automatic. It just comes to you, I mean, by their voice.
Yeah, it just happens. Not always. But you look at humans and they're like, I really look like my dog.
You look like your dog?
Yeah, have you seen my dog?
I have, but I don't think you look
I really do. I really do. I think all people that have dogs, they normally look like their dog. What type of dog do you have, Laurie?
I have one cat left. I'm the one who had the cat put down.
Oh yeah, but what's crying now? A cat?
No, that's my granddaughter. She wants to be with me and she's making noises and I'm trying to get away from her so I can talk to you.
It sounded like a dog.
Yeah, she did. She was making actually a cat noise. Meow, but it was coming out like a dog. So they're just birds. So they are really me. So I'm not okay with my seeking or my listening. Is that?
Yeah. It's all in the Laurie story. Everything you ever see about anything is in the Laurie brain. It's a production of the Laurie brain. There's not actually a Laurie there. There's just chemicals being produced of stories of this is who this is and that's who that is.
So
it's just chemical reactions happening in that brain, giving the appearance that somebody's this way or that way. There's no truth in it. And there's nothing wrong with that description. They're like this or they're like that, but there's just no truth in it. The problem comes when you really believe they're a separate entity acting that way and that you're a separate entity receiving them.
That's exactly,
or interacting with them.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
But it's only in thoughts that other people appear. And that's just chemical reactions happening in the brain. It's completely impersonal. Laurie couldn't think any other way than what she thinks. It's just a flow of things that have led the brain to think a certain way, and it's a flow of things that have led Laurie to listen to these sort of things, these sort of talks as well.
Right. So
More than likely, I could give a guess that the Laurie character's got a bit of a tendency to be berating of herself, so using others to berate her, but really the others and herself are the same movement. The people that you see out there berating you are still Laurie, so you're also the berater. What a funny word.
holy crap, that's true.
They're so body-mind mechanisms are very obvious. We think that we're quite unique, but they're quite obvious. But it's the same with dogs. Like dogs have different positions in the dog world, and they have different ways of being. You've got the dominant dog, the fearful dog. But the human just gets lost in its way of being.
Like completely.
Yeah, completely. They've taken that to be the reality, and what is to be second best or third best. They've taken their thoughts to be a reality. So you really think you see someone out there that's telling you these things, and you really think it's happening to you, and it's just happening to empty space.
What the heck?
This is going to be a good one to listen back to, Laurie.
You got it. I'm thinking the same thing.
I have to get my dog though, so you can see how much I look like her. When you properly look at her, she'll be like, "Oh my God, she looks just like her dog."
You were playing with her in the beginning of the whole show.
Yeah.
And I guess I need to stretch my imagination more. Now, the last guy you were talking to, you're going to Boulder. Jeff Foster was just in Boulder, and I'm going to Belgium to see Jeff Foster, where you just were.
Oh, really? Next month? I'm in Belgium next month as well.
Actually, October. It's October 10th.
I'm in Belgium in September.
No kidding. Yeah. Well, I got this whole thing given to me. Somebody paid for my whole trip. I'm going to Germany first, and then they're taking me to. We're driving to
Oh wow!
Belgium.
Oh nice. Yeah. Have you been to Europe before?
Well, I've been to Russia, but that was just to pick up a boy for my son. I didn't enjoy that at all, but I am so excited.
You're gonna love it. You'll love it.
You think?
Yeah, and you've got to eat chips in French fries in Belgium. They're so good. The best in Belgium.
What, better than McDonald's?
Oh, these are. They have a special way of cooking them. These are divine. These are like melt in your mouth chips or French fries.
Okay. Well, I was thinking chocolate, Belgium chocolate. Of course.
But they also invented French fries. That's where French fries came from, Belgium.
No.
And it's a real delicacy there, honestly.
Well, then that's going to be on order for sure, because I love French fries.
I love them too.
Great. All right. Well, I can't wait to listen to this back.
Yeah.
Because it's really blown my chickens or my birds.
And before I finish this talk, I'll get Khaleesi and put her head right next to mine, and you'll be like, "Wow, they really look alike."
Okay. I'll send you a message on Skype to let you know if I really think so. Is she up there? No.
No, she's out. I don't know where she is now. I'll get her before I finish. I've just got a few more questions to answer, and then I'll finish.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Laurie.
You.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thanks. Sweet. Lisa, have you ever stumbled across Robert Adams, upon, not across? Actually, both of those words are a little bit funny for me. I think that English is maybe your second language, as your name is. But both of them work, but both of them could be a funny, across and upon. Because upon, you could have a joke about it being slightly sexual or something. But that's just English. It has lots of meanings to everything. Robert Adams, I've heard of the name, but I have no idea about the way he speaks. I've never listened to anything. Ricarda, Daniel, dear Lisa, when talking with that Adidar guy, you were really smoking. Incredibly well spoken. Loving you even more. I was really smoking. Poo, 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 poo. She's a banana. She's just like her dog. Leslie. Lisa, is there any way that we can look for evidence that each of us as an imaginary thing, what would give that away for us? Well, Leslie, where's the evidence that you are a reality? There's been an assumption that you exist. Where is the evidence that you do exist? Hi, Oliver. What birds are the French one? Storks. Or storks or flamingos. The storks I quite like, with the incredibly long legs. Tiny head, big body. But flamingo also. Susan. If there is any time you want to speak about the concept of there only being one choice, please do. Beat it over the head. I'm certain I'll have to remind of this again and again. No truth here. After speaking with you, I had a few moments of feeling high, really strange. I was just laughing and being in total awe of each and everything appearing before my eyes. What is this? Whatever it is, it's really funny right now. Blah, blah, blah. Had to share. Not high like drugs, just high like tingly body and emptiness. No idea how to type about this. Oh well, who cares? Yeah. It's just the awakening thing. You know. Nothing important. You don't need to know about it. But yeah, these sort of things, these experiences can come, and it can sometimes feel like something else has taken over. Can you speak about choice and other examples of serious life decisions versus simple decisions? You mentioned the choice of apple versus orange, but what about more serious ones? I know it doesn't matter, but the desire there is to talk about it. My mind is obsessed with decisions and indecision. Gosh, why do we even try to speak at all this garbage? Okay, so an important life decision. What's an important life decision? Like, having to put your dog down? Is that an important one? It will happen. So the dog will be in pain, and there'll be a point where the body-mind mechanism moves to take the dog to put it down or to put it to sleep. It just happens, Susan. You are not the thinker. Thoughts are appearing in boundlessness. Choices are appearing in boundlessness. They're appearing in something. But you aren't in them. Aviba. Hi, Lisa. Will you be presenting at the Wake Up Festival? Haha, that's in Colorado. No, I won't. I'm going to something called Strawberry Fields, which is a music festival for a group called ACIM. Rock. Hey Lisa, talking about birds, Francis of Assisi's called birds my sisters. I have to sign off. Thanks for the bullshit happening. It made a lot of sense. Hope to see you again soon in the flare things. Okay, bye Ramon. Thanks for saying I have a nice sweater. Okay guys, that's enough now. I think we've been going a long time. Yes, we've been going 2 hours and 8 minutes. So, thanks guys, and I shall see you Sunday. Bye.